Hello students, welcome to another English class, and this will be the last one for Globetrotting. Today we will be writing an email and it will be all about showing Malaysian hospitality. And there is no other company that's more capable of showing us what Malaysian hospitality means other than Malaysia Airlines. Check it out.
It begins with a warm smile and a sincere heart. The gestures that greet you for the very first time. It begins by knowing how to walk in the shoes of others, to understand that every journey is different. It begins by knowing someone's needs, even before them asking, so they feel at home when they're miles away. It begins with one simple truth, that our hospitality defines who we are and where we come from. It's not only found on board, but in everyone you meet. It's how we are with one another and everybody else. It's what makes us all uniquely Malaysian, and it will be what you'll remember most. Because no matter where the world takes you, it all begins with us.
Isn't that such a wonderful message? I've lived in 2 other countries, and what I can say is what we have here in Malaysia is something I can't find anywhere else. It all begins with us as Malaysians in our own home, and I hope that everyone will learn to appreciate what we have at home. What do we love about Malaysia? What's so great? You know, it can be something really simple. We think that alamak, it's just a roadside stall next to longkang. Mana ada orang lain mau makan kat sana? But you'll be surprised. In New York City, the best cafe is a Malaysian cafe. It's called Kopitiam. Check it out. The things that we love about our country will be very similar to what other people will love about our country, no matter how small, no matter how simple. In today's lesson, we will be responding to an email from a foreigner who wants to visit our country. So let's take a look at that email. It's from Andrew from Birmingham. Dear Mark, so it's written to Mark. Guess what? My parents and I are staying at a resort in your country this summer. That means I'll be able to get together with you and the others who were here on the language course last year. Okay, just imagine that this was pre-COVID-19. I'm so excited. We'll be there during the month of August. So I was thinking of paying you a visit on the second weekend in August. Would that be convenient for you? I plan to arrive by train sometime on Friday afternoon. And I was wondering if you could recommend a good hostel somewhere near the station. Oh, what a nice friend. I don't want to be a nuisance, so we could get together anytime and at any place that is best for you. So considerate. Just tell me how to get there from the station and I'll find it. You probably remember that I'm really into photography. I'd really love to get some good shots of nature spots or places of historical interest while I'm there too. What do you suggest? Well, got to go now. Can't wait to hear from you. Yours, Andrew. I really like this letter. This Andrew guy is so polite. Your parents raised you well. So how can we make a request and do it in such a polite manner that people feel like, oh, you're such a nice guy? Take a look at this. I was thinking of paying you a visit on the second weekend in August. Would that be convenient for you? Wow. First you talk about what you want to do and then ask if it would be convenient for your host. This is a very nice way to ask. Learn how to write like this. And this one, I was wondering if you could recommend a good hostel somewhere. So if you want to ask for recommendations, this is a great way to put it into a sentence. And the next one, especially if you really want something, I'd really love to do this. What do you suggest? Allow your host to make the best recommendation for you. That's really great. Okay, so take note of these blue highlights that I've made. This is how this guy asks for recommendations, asks for help in a very polite way. There are other ways to ask for directions as well. How do I get from one place to another place? Where exactly is this place? What's the best way to get there? And can you tell me the way to someplace? So Andrew wrote a great letter. Let's see how Mark responds. Here's Mark's reply. Hi Andrew, I'm so glad to hear you'll be here in August. It's the best time of the year, and it's wonderful that we'll get to meet again. We won't be on holiday in August, but my parents insist that you should stay with us while you are visiting. Oh, so Asian. You stay with us. Don't stay hotel. Why waste the money? We have lots of space and my mother would be very disappointed if you stayed at a hostel. Since you are arriving by train, I suggest that we meet at my father's bakery. I'm usually there on weekday afternoons and it's very close to the station. The main entrance is on Sabri Road. Turn left and walk along this road for a bit. Take the second turning on the right into Mahyadin Street. Our bakery is at the first traffic lights on the corner of Najib Street and Mahathir Avenue. You can't miss it! How could I forget your passion for photography? There is an archaeological There is an archaeological site nearby that I know you'll love. You'll be able to get fantastic photos of the ancient ruins, and the surrounding countryside is absolutely breathtaking. Well, I have to rush off to the bakery now. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now. Your friend, Mark. Let's look at how Mark responds. I really like this part here. My parents insist that you should. You're kind of like trying to twist the arm of the guest and force them to stay with you. And I like this second part which says, my mother would be very disappointed if you stayed at a hostel. Nicely put, Mark. So guys, if you have to write a letter to a friend who is visiting, put this in there. It'll be a very nice touch. If you want to make a suggestion, a very simple way to do it is like this. I suggest that we meet at my father's bakery. And if you want to recommend something, you can also do it this way. There is an archaeological site nearby that I know you'll love. So that's making suggestions. What about giving directions? The main entrance is on Sabri Road. Turn left and walk along this road for a bit. Take the second turning on the right into Mahyadin Street. Our bakery is at the first traffic lights, on the corner of Najib Street and Mahathir Avenue. I don't know why people would ask you for directions these days. We have Google Maps and Waze and stuff. But yeah, this is still very useful to know, just in case, you know, technology, the map gets it wrong, or they type in the wrong address. You still need to know how to give them directions manually. So here's some more ways to give suggestions. Let's do something. Why don't you or we do this? There is a something nearby that you'll love. Something we shouldn't miss is this. There is a nice thing where you can do something. I think it would be a good idea to do this. We should definitely do that. How about doing this? I suggest doing that. What do you think about doing this? And also here are some ways to give directions. Go up, down, along something street, road, avenue. Go straight on this road for about 200 meters until you come to this place. It is opposite, near, next to, between this place and that place. Turn left right into this street, road, avenue. Turn left, right at the crossroads, signpost, traffic lights, stop sign, corner. Cross at the pedestrian crossing, traffic lights, footbridge. And this is a footbridge. Take the first, second turning on the right, left. Walk, go past, towards. It's at the end of this place. It's on the right, left. It's on at the corner of this street and that street. Alright, take note of the ways to make suggestions and give directions because you will need to do it when you write an email later. And you guessed it, your task is to write an email to Andrew. Andrew will be visiting you and has sent you that email. Refer to the map and write an email responding to Andrew. So I'll show you the map in a bit. You can use Mark's email as a model, but you must use your own ideas and the expressions, phrases provided earlier. And this is the map that you should be referring to when you write your email in response to Andrew. Now let's go back to Andrew's letter and take note of what he is actually asking us to do in his letter. And those blue sections that are highlighted are his requests. He's thinking of paying you a visit on the second weekend in August. And would that be convenient for you? So you have to talk about this time in August and whether it is convenient. I plan to arrive by train sometime on Friday afternoon, and I was wondering if you could recommend a good hostel somewhere near the station. So take a look at the map that's provided. Think about how you can give directions to a hostel that's near the train station. Or you might want to pull something like what Mark did by insisting that he stay with you. He also asks to get together anytime and at any place. In your response to Andrew, make sure that you talk about the time and the place where you would get together. Or you can probably say, alright, I'll pick you up or I'll meet you there at your hostel at this time. And finally, he is really into photography and he'd love to get some good shots of nature or places of historical interest. So yeah, do make some suggestions based on the map and also based on your creativity. If you need to, feel free to rewind and go back and look at Mark's letter, but don't copy Mark's letter. It'll be very obvious if you do. Use Mark's letter as a model and write it with your own words, your own ideas based on the map that is provided to you. When you finish your writing, you can submit your essay to me with the Google Forms. Next up, check it out, parkour in Malaysia. In the next lesson, we will be talking about parkour, so look forward to that.